Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to CB South High School. It is the site of a PIAA 6A football state semifinal between the LaSalle College High School Explorers and the North Penn Knights, a rivalry in southeastern Pennsylvania renewed. Schools just 17 minutes down the road from one another. What a rivalry it was for about a decade. That matchup, normally the first game of the season, was put on hold until it was set right back into the schedule in late November in a state semifinal. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Bob Long, Tyler Kern to bring you the contest here this afternoon. And Tyler, North Penn, it's kind of been a season of sways for them. Some struggles early on. We'll get into some of the keys to their defense that have come on as the year has gone along. But if you have to put two inflection points, the first was a 34-10 loss to Penn Ridge in the regular season. And the back part of this is winning the district by beating that same Penn Ridge team just last week. Dick Beck's been at this for 23 years. He is a legend in the coaching ranks, and he's 48 minutes away from his team going to a state final.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned a bunch of sways, but they're here in the state semifinals here against arguably the best team in the state of Pennsylvania. So, kudos to Dick Beck, what he's been able to do with this program over the years. He was, coaching when I was, down on the sideline, and, it's really cool to see him, keep working this program. Really excited for today.
And on the LaSalle side, coached by Brett Gordon, second-year coach. That doesn't mean he's new to the party, though. He was a longtime coordinator at LaSalle. Of course, the best passer in the history of Villanova University, and for many, many years held every major record as the quarterback of LaSalle High School as well. And now an opportunity for him to coach a star in the making. Gavin Sidwar, the starting quarterback for LaSalle, now beating a lot of those records and surpassing what Brett did during his time at LaSalle. But I think when you think about the program and where LaSalle has come in the last 24 months, a good foundation laid by the prior staff, and Brett Gordon has taken it to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I think from a fan's perspective, they kind of overperformed last year. Had a tough loss in the playoffs against St. Joe's Prep, but it's kind of business as usual, it feels like, this year, what they've been able to do. Gavin Sidwar surpassing a couple of Brett Gordon's record from when he was a quarterback last week, I think in both yardages and touchdown throws. Just a really cool kind of passing the torch. So, Gavin Sidwar looking to increase those passing yards and touchdowns today as well.
We did get the note sold out. Is that correct? I think we heard that pregame. It is getting packed here, and we still have a ways to go until kickoff. CB South is a great venue. A little bit more of a homier venue as well, Tyler, which I think will cause this place to have a little bit more energy, be loud. Without so much, with so much on the line, you really can't have much more stakes going into a contest like this.
No, exactly. I do like the vibe. I obviously kind of grew up around here, so it's cool to see this so close to home. And, just a really cool venue. Glad they were able to work this out. Kind of a nice home field for LaSalle this game.
We will break down a lot of the individual matchups as we get closer to kickoff, but it is important, I think, to talk about the rivalry that we led the broadcast with. LaSalle, North Penn. LaSalle has a lot of students that matriculate to LaSalle that, of course, live in the North Penn School District. Maybe the North Penn folks don't particularly love that. And so that led to a really good rivalry for years and years and years to open the season. But maybe the best game in the rivalry's history was in 2010, a state semifinal, this very weekend on the calendar, when LaSalle and North Penn went back and forth and back and forth. And before we get to those highlights, I know you were on the field that day. What comes to mind?
Yeah, I was on the sideline that day, but I saw some insane football. It was really a battle of two titans that day, and just came down to a turnover at the end. And LaSalle came out victorious on that one, and I'll let the highlights speak for themselves.
Yeah, let's turn it to 2010, a rivalry that was and really was more in the burgeoning phase at that point. Maybe the biggest game in the program's history, that when those two teams got together in November of 2010.
Final game sees a rematch of the season opener between the Knights and Explorers. North Penn scores first, but LaSalle comes back on a 3-yard run by Jamal Abdur-Rahman. The Knights strike again, but the Explorers tie it up on a pass from Matt McGarity to Tim Wade. Ryan Winslow's field goal gives the blue and gold the lead. But North Penn scores to take a 21-17 lead into the locker room. Abdur Rahman bolts into the end zone from 8 yards out to give LaSalle the lead again. But North Penn strikes back in a real slugfest. Abdur Rahman scores his third touchdown of the game from 4 yards to retake the lead. But North Penn moves ahead 35-31 early in the fourth quarter. Late in the fourth, McGarity spots Sean Coleman in the left flat, and Coleman flies into the end zone to give LaSalle a 38-35 lead. The Knights would come back past midfield, but Joe Nagy deflects a pass into the waiting arms of Ryan Geiger for an interception. And LaSalle wins this heavyweight battle 38-35 to go on to Hershey for the state championship game for the second year in a row.
And that was a classic back in 2010 between North Penn and LaSalle. And Tyler, as you see some of those highlights, what does come to mind?
Yeah, I mean, the first and foremost, seeing Ryan Geiger make that interception there. A guy I played grade school, high school ball with. Really cool to see that. The tip from Joe Nagy there. And also just kind of thinking about how that, that rivalry developed. I think they started playing the first time that regular season, 2010, if not the year before. And then, that was a tight game. Then the following year, my senior year, kind of had it wasn't as close of a game in the regular season. Then North Penn came out 21-14 to go to the States. And both years, LaSalle and then North Penn went to the state championship, wasn't able to pull it off. So that's kind of an interesting parallel there.
Let's take a break. We'll come back in just a few minutes. It is a state semifinal extravaganza across the state of Pennsylvania. We're glad you're here embracing this one and watching the game with us. Two bitter rivals, LaSalle and North Penn, about to get it on to represent the eastern side of the state at the 6A level.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed to most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfort Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches. The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
Up Big Ten Plus, you get more game, non-stop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team wherever you want 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights. More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
From coast to coast and every state between, X marks the spot as Max Preps is your source for everything high school sports. From schedules, roster, stats, live scores, video highlights, photos, playoff brackets, to award programs that recognize the hard-working athletes across the country. Max Preps gives you access to every team, every game, and every player. Get in the know today by downloading the Max Preps app, available in both the iTunes and Google Play Store. Or visit maxpreps.com, America's source for high school sports.
It's your weekly trip. It's our everyday low price. It's one of 37 things on your list, and one of 10,000 items we've marked down. It's feeding them balanced meals and helping you balance your budget. At Wise Markets, we know you keep a close eye on every price. And so do we. Our low price promise helps you save throughout the store without waiting for a sale. So that you can eat better, we help you spend less. That's Wise.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community. Let's go! And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
let's go!
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Big Ten Plus. Get 3 months of Big Ten Plus for only $4.99 per month. Scan the QR code or go to big10plus.com and enter NFHS when selecting a monthly pass at checkout.
Welcome back to CB South High School. Kickoff in just a moment. This is the ceremonial coin toss. This occurred about a half hour ago, as it always happens at the high school level. As we look at the captains for LaSalle, Desmond Ortiz, Keenan Stahl, Jamel Williams, and Notre Dame bound Joey O'Brien. And as we take a look at those 4 for LaSalle, Joey O'Brien has done so much over his time at LaSalle. LaSalle will receive the opening kickoff, and North Penn will kick it from our left to our right. Let's take a look at some of those records that Joey O'Brien has already set during his time at LaSalle High School. Thanks to Jack McGuire from the class of 2028 at LaSalle for putting this graphic together. Career receiving yardage, the leader in LaSalle history, 161 receptions. PCL City and LaSalle record 16 receiving touchdowns in a season, most in LaSalle history. He has the opportunity to chase down the city record as well as the Catholic League and the city record. And then, of course, the receiving yardage record in a season. He broke his own record, Tyler, last year. And it could have been about 95 more on a touchdown that was called back last week against Easton.
Yeah, I remember that. And that doesn't even show his impact on defense. He's been incredible on that side of the ball, and likely, we'll play on defense at the next level.
Bring you back inside the booth one last time. Tyler, one key for you for LaSalle to advance to a state final.
Yeah, I mean, just, play the level of football you've been playing all year, keep penalties to a minimum, and just play your game.
And then North Penn, what do the Knights have to do to advance to a state title?
They got to play perfect. They got to, keep LaSalle on their heels, and they need a lot of trickery.
And I'll start with a pooch kick. Returnable there by Joey O'Brien. And Joey O'Brien gets across midfield inside the 35. Great start for LaSalle.
Yeah, it shows his impact on special teams as well. Joey O'Brien's just a special player. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch in Notre Dame.
And you can understand a pooch kick, and I'd be curious to get into the mind of Brett Gordon there, why Joey O'Brien was in that spot in the special teams unit. Perhaps knew or had an expectation that something like that might happen, put one of your best playmakers in a position to field a pooch punt.
Maybe don't pooch punt to Joey O'Brien when you see him out there. You can still react to it.
So now here's the LaSalle Explorers. They're dressed in the navy blue. They have the gold lids. Really haven't worn these jerseys very much this year. They throw the screen, and that one was caught by an ineligible receiver. It was batted down by North Penn. A nice play on the football. One more look. Heck of a play.
Yeah, I was about to say, North Penn broke through that line really easy. Obviously designed screen, but sniffed out. Really heads up play.
Jimmy Mahoney, number 14. We saw him on the field for the first time in a month. He's been so good as a senior contributor. We've talked about this before, but he has set the 400-meter record for LaSalle High School track. Now LaSalle goes 5 wide here on second down. There's Jimmy Mahoney making an impact and making guys miss. Burrows his way for a first down. Ball came out, and North Penn thinks they have it. And we're still waiting for a call. Here's another look. You can judge at home when this ball came out.
That ball's
and
out.
That ball is out. And it's North Penn football. So 2 plays. North Penn gets their hand on the ball both times. Tyler, what a start for the Knights.
Yeah, the Knights look incredible right now. Just 2 incredible defensive plays, and maybe that's why you do that pooch kick, because you have so much faith in your defensive front. They did a great job there. That is huge.
Slowing it down as much as we can, and that ball is out. Great call by these officials. And now Matt Buxer, 3rd-year starter. The first time he ever started a football game, Tyler, was 3 years ago in the opener against LaSalle. A 34-3 win that day by the LaSalle Explorers, but Buxer has been so good in the years since. 1,700 yards passing, 13 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. He's rushed for 300 yards with 2 touchdowns on the ground. Dick Beck talks about him as being a really good improviser, Tyler, but not always to run. Scrambles within the pocket, eludes pressure with a look to throw the ball down the field. And now they'll hand this one off, patiently swinging his way for a gain of about 3. That's Riley Gray. Almost 1,200 yards on the year with 15 touchdowns. They expect a mix between Matthew Pennall, about 20, 25 touches in a game, and Riley Gray, the 5'10 junior, of 10 to 15 touches per contest. That time it was Gray, who can line up as a running back or a wide receiver, Tyler, coming out of that jet sweep type formation. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Line to gain is the 33. And they'll try to run the screen. Dangerous ball thrown to nowhere. Riley Gray can't believe it. There was lots of contact there. Jamel Williams, the defensive lineman there, Tyler. Keep an eye on that on the replay.
Yeah, I agree. There was a lot of contact, if not at least holding, but that looked like a DPI to me.
So North Penn will have to punt this one away. Owen Johnson and Joey O'Brien back deep to receive.
Kind of rare to see 2 punt returners. I don't think we've seen that much this year.
And now a flag comes in. Be intrigued to see the call. Was there movement up front? Could LaSalle have jumped offside? And it's a sideline warning against North Penn, so nothing doing there. The next one would be assessed from a penalty yardage standpoint. Joshua Prince will punt this one away. Good snap. and gets off a line drive punt. O'Brien from the 37. More good yardage for Joey O'Brien. Makes one miss, and the ball came out again. Who got on that one? It looks like LaSalle did.
Oh, my goodness. And this is exactly what LaSalle can't be doing there. Got away with one. But they are being fast and loose with this football.
Reggie Harris, number 28. We haven't said his name much this year. Senior linebacker comes up with a huge fumble recovery. For those of you counting at home, that's 3 times that LaSalle has touched the ball. We'll make it 4 times. Twice on special teams, twice on offense. North Penn's got a hand on the football 3 out of 4 times. They'll get back to the bread and butter. Azir Nelson. First down after a gain of 13. He has really come into his own, Tyler.
Yeah, LaSalle's done a great job this year of kind of bouncing to the outside. You can see the 2 pulling linemen there just leading the way for Azir Nelson as he takes clear advantage of that nice blocking.
The other starters, Joey O'Brien, Owen Johnson, Jimmy Mahoney at the wide receiver position, J.P. Oates, Azir Nelson, the starting tailback, and Gavin Sidwar, the starting quarterback for LaSalle, and just a little bit of movement up front. How about Danny Lawyer selling it at the end, big number 76.
See here, just that Sidwar clap that's just been working so well all year. I don't know if you'll get Danny Lawyer just
there. You go. Timber.
That makes first down a little easier.
Up front, Grayson McHugh, the number 9 ranked player in the country per on 3. Left tackle going to Notre Dame next year. And again, North Penn has jumped. It'll be first down and 10 from the 11.
And when you're going up against an offense like this, you need every advantage you can get. You need to get that jump, but you have to be disciplined enough to know that's coming. It's been on the tape all year.
Going across the rest of that line, Chris Berneski, Jr., 6'3", 295. Jacob Jackson at center. Andrew Sorge, right guard, and Danny Lawyer at the right tackle position. Hollywood, let's call him. He has played great this year. Really, that entire line has stepped up.
All right. Got the discipline that time.
And a timeout is called by LaSalle. 8:33 to play here in the first quarter. Let's meet the North Penn defense as well. They'll go with an even front, Tyler. Jack Silvers and Christian Barnes will be the edge rushers, number 11 and 16. The interesting story about Christian Barnes is it's first year playing football. He's a center fielder on the baseball team. He's going to LaSalle University to play his baseball next year. But he just decided that he wanted to play and have that experience for his senior year. Dick Beck said the defense really turned around when he started playing around game 6. Speed, relentless pursuit. He's undersized. He's under 200 pounds as an edge rusher, but a lot of really talented guys can kind of play that edge, outside linebacker type role at an undersized frame. Marsalis Kimber in the middle and Darren Berner. Berner, again, a guy that came in halfway through the season, flushed Jack Silvers out to a more effective edge rusher position. And it's been a good front 4 this year for North Penn. First down and 10 for LaSalle. And some miscommunication there as Gavin Sidwar was looking for J.P. Oates. But J.P. Oates cut off that route and ran it underneath.
Yeah, you can see Sidwar just eyeing up Oates that whole time, but as you said, Bob, just a miscommunication. Even if he got that route right, I think that ball is sailing.
Well, I think what they're trying to do there is force that interior cornerback, Tyler, to try to dive in on Jimmy Mahoney, thinking that J.P. Oates is going out for kind of a blocking assignment there. And then a go route at that point from J.P. Oates, but just not on the same page. Second down and 10. Oates is in motion. They'll hand it off to Azir Nelson, breaking one tackle, spinning his way, and they have him down. They have him stepping out of bounds short of the end zone.
Yeah, what an athletic play by Azir Nelson. We've seen it all year. Just look at the spin move and this ability. You can see him clearly step out there, but really nice athletic movement there by Azir Nelson.
And there was a flag, so LaSalle is backing up. It's of the 5-yard variety. 2nd down and 15 yards to go. Line to gain is all the way down at the 2.
Yeah, unsure what that penalty was.
They had 2 big boys out there, Kyrie Mitchell and Jamel Williams on that last play, so they sub out. Certainly a prototypical passing play, but 2nd and 15, likely, could be 4-down territory, Tyler. I think the playbook is wide open here. They go 10 personnel. Nelson does take that give. Holds on to the football there. You see North Penn, they are digging for that football. They've gotten their paws on it twice to cause a fumble once for a knockdown. It'll be 3rd down and about 12.
Yeah, you can see that they are just hungry for that football. They're tearing at Azir Nelson's arms just to try to knock that thing loose. Great job by Nelson holding on to it, but still it sets up a 3rd and long. Might be able to take the 3 points here if you don't get much else.
It was a very windy day in southeastern Pennsylvania yesterday, but that's really calmed down here today. 3rd and 12 towards the end zone, snatching it out of the air. Touchdown, Joey O'Brien. Pretty good coverage there, Tyler, but sometimes 6'6", and all that athleticism just takes over.
Yeah, I mean, that's just incredible communication there between Sidwar and Joey O'Brien. They've been building on this since they were freshmen. Just a great route from Joey O'Brien, strong hands. What else is there to say?
Chris Heck on to attempt the extra point. He's been dynamite all year long and knocks that one through to make it a 7-0 game. Salle leads in the early stages against North Penn. And why not take this time to tell you about Joe O'Brien Roofing, proud sponsor of what we're doing here. You can call them at 215-267-0883. Yes, that is Joey O'Brien's father, with a wonderful family-owned business for 40-plus years here in the Philadelphia area. They do siding work, gutter work, patchwork, new roofs, you name it. Maybe you're just having some issues, a little bit of a leak, or you think, hey, we've had our roof for 25, 30 years. That's the time to call Joe, and we couldn't recommend anybody more than Joe O'Brien Roofing. Proud Roman Catholic grad, but also extremely proud of his young man and his son, Joey O'Brien, who's set all types of records and more in the process here at LaSalle. Wishing him and the whole family the best as Joey goes on to Notre Dame in about a month, and we appreciate Joe's sponsorship of what we're doing here. Chris Heck bounding towards the 25. And a decent return out to the 33-yard line. That's where North Penn will start again. Let's take a full look at the North Penn offense. Up front, Dominic Tranzilli, a senior at 6'1", 230 pounds, 3-year starter, and a captain, Jacob Cheeseman. Great football name, great any type of name right there. At the left guard position, R.J. Smith, the center, 5'6", 230 pounds, but a very cerebral type offensive lineman. Mason Charles and Charles Ashley fill out the right side of that offensive line. Hand off to Penal. Matthew Penal dives forward for a gain of about 5. Good start on first down for North Penn. Penal will be joined in the backfield by Riley Gray. Wyatt Martin is the starting senior tight end. Generally a blocking tight end. 3 catches on the season. They think of him more as a 6th offensive lineman. Wide receivers Sal Colella and Mason Franick. Franick leads the team in receiving yards, first team All-League, and a 3-year starter. And movement everywhere. And that goes against the offense.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, I got to tell you, right as we were going to that replay, Jack Silver's number 11. He's wearing the
Guardian cap.
Yes, the Guardian cap. He really didn't like the call. I must say, I'm I'm not sure I understand the argument there.
Maybe with the defensive line shifting, he thought, they kind of baited him.
Yeah.
But I think that's the right call.
No, I mean, LaSalle did not come into the neutral zone. It was a lateral shift up front. So 2nd down and 10. Wipes out that good game by Penal on 1st down. They're going to run a double reverse. Deep into the playbook goes Buxer. Incomplete. Very easily could have been intercepted. LaSalle did a really nice job sussing this one out.
Yeah, I think that's Trey Hopkins coming up real quick there. I thought he was taking that back.
Yeah, that's one he's going to want back. Quite frankly, there was right near the North Penn sideline. Could have taken that little dump-off screen play and probably gotten close to those sticks.
You can see with the shadows out there, too. Sun in your eyes. Going this way.
Buxer hangs in that pocket. Takes a big hit, but stays with the football. Sal Colella, the junior. And decision time early on your own side of midfield, but 4th down and a long 3.
I think you know what you're up against here, and I think you're going for this.
The offense stays on the field for now. Also might be one of those time frames where you do look for a hard count if you're North Penn. Trying to get LaSalle to jump. Give them a dose of their own medicine. LaSalle stands getting loud as they snap it on 4th and 3. Buxer, it's incomplete. Josh Simmons started the year as a running back, ended up being a really good interior linebacker, and makes a heck of a play.
Yeah, just a great job by Simmons not turning his man there. Kind of had that arm hooked. Kind of used it for leverage, but did not twist him. Really good defense.
And got that right hand on the football.
Volleyball spike.
They'll run the screen to Owen Johnson. And Owen Johnson towards the end zone. Touchdown. One play, 40 yards for the score.
Yeah, really key block right there by that left tackle. And Owen Johnson, you can see Joey O'Brien blocking downfield here, something that is underrated for him, but he finished that block out for his man, Owen Johnson, who's had a heck of a year. Future of LaSalle football right there.
Tyler, he really had a coming out party, did Owen Johnson, in game number 2 against St. Joe's Prep. Had multiple big catches that afternoon when LaSalle really needed it. And it's 14-0, an Explorer lead early on. So a little bit demoralizing, I think, for North Penn, Tyler, because you kind of got everything that you wanted early on. You're starting to move the ball a little bit against LaSalle. You get your hands on the ball 3 different times, and yet here you sit, 5:34 to play in this first quarter, and it's 14-0 to the high-powered LaSalle High School Explorers.
Yeah, like I said in the beginning, if you're North Penn, you got to play near perfect football, and that false start set them back 5 yards enough that they were just couldn't make up the difference. You can't be taking penalties like that against a team like LaSalle.
Let's take this opportunity to play America's favorite game. Where you at? Let us know where you're watching the game from here this afternoon, although I'll tell you what, looking at this crowd, I mean, they are multiple folks deep along the entire fence line. This is a wild crowd here at a great venue. That's a live football picked up from about the 16-yard line. And LaSalle just rallies, hats to the football. A flag comes in late, potentially a face mask, depending upon what we saw at the end of the play here.
Yeah, it could have been a face mask on LaSalle, I'd have to imagine, if anything.
And that's exactly what the call is, face mask against LaSalle. So to finish that prompt, let us know where you're watching the game from, and we'll be happy to give you a shout on the air. Best way to get a hold of us is on my personal Twitter, @BobLongSports. Thanks, everyone, for supporting high school athletes and high school athletics in general. What a stage for both teams here today, coming into this contest 48 minutes from a berth in the state championship game. Two proud programs. Both have won state titles in their history. LaSalle going for their second. Dick Beck looking to win his first state championship as the head coach of North Penn. He was runner-up in 2011, beg your pardon, looking for his second. I can't cut my man Dick Beck short. 2003 state title, runner-up in 2011. And in 2011, by the way, that North Penn team beat LaSalle in that state semifinal. Tyler's looking at me like, don't remind me.
It's been enough time. I think I've gotten over it.
Tyler Kern sitting to my right, wonderful color analyst, the best to do it in the state of Pennsylvania. And he is a 2012 first-team All-Catholic defensive end. Played his high school football at LaSalle and then took up the game of rugby at the college level at Drexel. Really cool stuff. Third down, 8 yards to go, and they try to set up the screen. Incomplete. Pretty athletic play there. Kyrie Mitchell in the backfield. Jamel Williams actually made a decent stab at the football.
Yeah, Jamel Williams set on the edge here. You can see him on the left edge. He just bull rushes through, which is kind of part of the play, but he gets there so quick that it just kind of blows up the entire play.
Yeah, I may have confused those two. That's right. Williams on the pressure. Kyrie Mitchell made a heck of a play. A line drive punt. Returnable for Joey O'Brien. Inside the 45-yard line, a strong return, and the offense will get back out onto the field.
Really interesting. Again, I don't think we've seen that two-man punt return from LaSalle this year.
Yeah.
And it sets up the blocks pretty nice as well. The other returner getting in front of Joey O'Brien there, helping get a few extra yards.
First down and 10 for LaSalle. They've had great field position all afternoon. That will be a pass to Joey O'Brien on the little touch pass forward. Gain of 5. And again, just getting the ball quickly, Tyler, to your playmakers in space is the idea there.
Yeah, LaSalle's done a great job of that so far on offense. Just hasn't been too many long developing plays, just either hard-hitting runs or quick slants in the passing game.
They'll overload that far side of the field. Now it's Owen Johnson in motion. They'll run that pitch play to him. This time to the boundary side of the field. Lays the shoulder, and it'll be 3rd down and 2. We talked a little bit about Joey O'Brien. What he needs to even continue to etch his name into the record books needs 3 touchdowns for the LaSalle record and 7 for the Philadelphia Catholic League and city record. Needs 178 yards for the city and Philadelphia Catholic League total season receiving yards record. Needs 7 receptions for the LaSalle record in a season, 12 for the city and Philadelphia Catholic League record. Again, that's season receptions. And then needs 226 yards total over the next 2 weekends for career yardage marks in the city and the Catholic League. J.P. Oates, first down and a lot more. J.P. Oates steps out of bounds.
Yeah, Oates, someone that's really stepped into the spotlight on defense. Had, I think, 2 nice touchdowns last week against Easton. Looks pretty similar to that play. I thought he was taking it in for 6.
Well, he's this big-bodied tight end, right? And then you're putting a nickel back or something like that on him. And all of a sudden, he takes off with the speed of a wide receiver, and that's why they like him. All these colleges, in particular, Bob Chesney and JMU, where he is committed to actually play that outside linebacker role at about 6'3", 230 pounds. And that frame he will only continue to grow into. First down and 10. Ozir Nelson. Good bounce. Touchdown, Ozir Nelson. That zone blocking from LaSalle and it's Ozzie Nelson's job to read it and then put his foot in the ground, Tyler.
Yeah, LaSalle did a good job there with the hard count, showed the blitz, knew where the pressure was coming from the left side, motioned Fandozzi over to the right, who has done a great job acting as a fullback this year, and there was just a nice hole there for 6.
Chris Hack makes it 21-0 LaSalle. And boy, has it been dominant after those first couple of minutes there, Tyler, where LaSalle scuffled. But they've gotten the ball on the other side of midfield, I think, every single time they've had the football offensively. And you don't need to give this offense any breaks.
No, I can't believe we're still got 3 minutes, 18 seconds left in this first quarter. It just feels like a dominant quarter of football, which I think we were anticipating.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home. Andrew Buda Rakowski owns this firm and is an enthusiastic supporter of LaSalle football and what we do here on our broadcast. So we want to thank Andrew Buda Rakowski, who sends his best to his classmate Brett Gordon, as well as the rest of the LaSalle High School team. Andrew Buda Rakowski and Riley Rakowski and Malloy, a proud sponsor. Big hit there at the 42-yard line, but it'll be great starting field position for North Penn. And that is also a change in special teams in terms of what we've seen this year. Chris Heck, you know he's got a strong leg, Tyler, but LaSalle happy enough to kick these pooch kicks, these, I should say, squib kicks. And it's been some pretty good starting field position.
Yeah, I think that just kind of shows the faith you have in your defense to, maybe give an extra 10 or 20 yards, but maybe try to force a turnover on that kickoff. Those can be pretty difficult to return.
Silvers is the man in motion. Bucks are running out of time. Really elusive, though, and sitting down in coverage. That's a great throw and catch. Riley Gray moves the sticks.
Insane play here. Just pressure all around. Look at this maneuvering of the pocket. And just finds his man downfield for, I believe, the Knights' first down of the game.
And I believe that might have been for Franek, leading catcher on the year. We've seen a lot of Riley Gray and will continue to, but Franek moves the sticks on that one. 1st down and 10 for North Penn. Now double tight end shift. 22 personnel. They try to get the big boys in there, but LaSalle is up to task. A flag comes in at the end of the play. Let's see if we can get a look at what this might have been in reference to.
You can see the pulling guard there, but still just hit by a brick wall.
Caleb Davidson got 2 hands on him and made the tackle.
And that flag came in from the Explorers' backfield.
Yeah, it did. So that's going to go against LaSalle. It's a face mask penalty, and they're going to walk it off 15 yards.
2nd of the game for the Explorers.
Yeah, changing personnel. Off comes Kyrie Mitchell, and they're going to put a linebacker / kind of nickel back in there, and Chima Auguste, number 12. LaSalle without the services of Zyke Scott in the linebacking core for the entirety of this postseason run. Good start there from North Penn, but a better wrap-up tackle in the middle of the field by LaSalle. Cooper Halig, he's been dynamite all year. LaSalle had to replace a lot in the linebacking core this season, Tyler. Dylan Clare, Jack Luthi, and others. They had a deep core last year. But Cooper Halig has been a real shot in the arm for LaSalle. Come into that role as well. Tight end. Colton McAleer has been dinged up over the course of the year, but he's made some big plays over the course of the year. And, of course, Josh Simmons. So now, 2nd down and 7. It's a gain of 2. 3rd down and 5, 4-down territory, and I think North Penn will call it with that in mind.
Yeah, a lot of deception with the motion. Looks like, you'd think they're running to that man in motion, but then kind of shooting it back up the middle there. But LaSalle's defense up to the task.
Late stages of this first quarter, Tyler.
Yeah, you got to feel, as you said, Bob, ticking down to about 1 minute. You got to feel that they got to go in the air a little more. You got to start taking some risks on offense.
Boxer is going to step up and right into the pressure. LaSalle with the sack. Jamel Cheese Williams.
Cheese there with just a great sack. I think Boxer kind of saw a lot of green grass, and Jamel Williams' closing speed right there, just on top of him. And now, I mean, you got to put that ball in the air. I just don't think you're going to get there on the ground.
4th down, line to gain is inside the 20 at the 19. 20 seconds left. There is an 8-second differential, so North Penn has to snap the football. Boxer takes a shot, and it's either incomplete and a turnover or an interception. They called an interception, and LaSalle will give up about 25 yards.
It's about sending a message, but yeah, I completely agree. You knock that ball down, you get a lot better field position. That's a close interception. I couldn't see on that replay. Maybe
Trey Hopkins put it in the stat column for him. One more look here.
And he had Boxer had a man wide open right here. Did a great job of finding that seam in the zone. That looked like an interception to me.
I tell you what, Trey Hopkins, he earned that one.
Just wants to make it a little more difficult for his offense.
I'll give Joey O'Brien, Gavin Sidwar, some of these folks chasing down some records. Another couple of yards to do just that. What a play by Trey Hopkins, who will be a big part of the offense, you would think, next year, in addition to what he's done defensively this year. Nice defense there by North Penn. Riley Gray in there on the crossing route, taking that out of the hands of Owen Johnson.
Yeah, just a quick slant here. Incredible coverage by Gray. Just timed that perfectly.
Eight seconds left here in this first quarter. Five wide again for LaSalle. So there's no, hey, let's run the football downhill, get out of the shadow of our own goalpost. LaSalle runs a quick slant for Joey O'Brien, and they just can't get him down, but the ball came out, and North Penn's all over it. Fighting for the extra yard, and it's the second time that the ball's been poked away from Joey O'Brien today.
Yeah, if you're Joey O'Brien, you got to take the yardage there. That's brutal. That's 3 fumbles on the day. 2 recovered by North Penn.
And this one, again, obviously you're fighting for the yardage. I don't know, did the hand even get in there from North Penn, or did he just kind of lose the football on his own?
Hard to tell.
But that ball is very clearly out. A clear recovery by North Penn. So we'll take a quick break and come back with the second quarter here in a state semifinal.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. Boxer, after the turnover by LaSalle, looking to get the ball to Riley Gray. Now LaSalle's ripping the football out, and they get it right back. Chima Auguste on the recovery. Josh Simmons got his hand in there.
Josh Simmons is just playing the best game of his life today. It's been so impactful on defense. Just not expecting that on the twist around. Again, kind of one of those situations where you take the yardage and go down.
And that might have been O'Brien, actually. Absolutely. Simmons was in there. There are 3 sets of hands. I think anybody would have been right, depending upon who you say it came out from. But I do think that it was O'Brien, number 6. Why is that impactful, Tyler? Well, he's making up for the issues that he caused on the last play. Good for him to keep your head up and make a heck of a play in the secondary. Sidwar steps up and dumps it underneath for O'Brien, who tiptoes out of bounds, just shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, I mean, you see Sidwar scanning here. Time's closing. Look at this little sidearm he throws. Just a nice little dump off.
The internal clock in his head, Tyler, is next level. No doubt about it.
Yeah, he looked like there was no pressure at all and just a little, oh, yeah, I guess I'll throw it around you. No big deal.
2nd down and 1. Desmond Ortiz in the backfield along with Sidwar. Ryan Fandozzi will take a turn here at the tight end position. Extra lineman on the right side of the line as well, and they'll give it to Ortiz. He has the first down, spinning across the 31 for a gain of 6.
Yeah, I mean, just a nice play design there. Kind of running it away from Fandozzi, but good to see Ortiz, the senior, getting more touches. Azir Nelson's kind of been the de facto running back number 1 for LaSalle this year. Obviously, Ortiz struggling with some injuries early on.
Sorry, I recognized that there was a score issue there. I think it may have just hitched when we went to the first quarter timeout. 21-0 LaSalle. Owen Johnson, right towards that first down marker. There is a flag in the area of holding. We talked about earlier how good Joey O'Brien is on the wide receiver blocking scheme of things, but he may have gotten a little bit too much jersey on the other end.
I didn't see a whole lot there, if I'm being honest. Kept the man in front of him, didn't really use that outer leverage to twist or turn, but
yeah, I don't think there's much there. I agree with you.
I will say one thing. Owen Johnson, usually like the quick guy avoiding big hits, he's kind of laying the wood today. He's lowering his shoulder and initiating these hits.
It was a downfield hold, so it'll be that all too familiar second down, beg your pardon, and 13. Is that right, though? Is it 2nd down and 13? Is there a play I missed? Maybe so.
I think that was the first down, actually. I think you're right.
Jimmy Mahoney. Turn on those Jets. Can anybody catch them? They will not. Welcome back to the field, Jimmy Mahoney. No flags on the play. And what a start there coming back to the field for Mahoney. We talked about it before, the fastest guy at the school. Running down the sideline, you pull him about 10 yards to his right. He's used to that final straightaway on the track here at CB South.
Yeah, I think he had, he should have kind of turned it up the track, ran another 300 meters, see if he could have beaten his record there because he was cruising.
Chris Heck is 4 for 4 on extra points, and a good time to tell you about some of the folks that checked in on our Where Yat segment. Evelyn Sharp checking in on her nephew, Mr. Reliable Chris Heck from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, says go LaSalle. Jim Devery, class of 1971, watching the LaSalle football game from Bonita Springs, Florida. Brett Kahanowitz, class of 2001. Watching from North Wildwood, Roll Explorers, great broadcast as always. And Brett, we might need to follow up on this one. Do you have a family member, Cole? Because there's a Cole Kahanowitz pitching at Lehigh right now. He was a terrific reliever for the LaSalle High School team, even the year they won the state championship. I think he was a freshman. Rick says, solid Saturday afternoon. He's got 2 college football games on. He sent a picture, and we are, of course, on the big screen. So thank you, Rick, for the proper placement. Tim Locke, not as happy with our boy Tim. Ohio State, Michigan got the big screen. There is still time to change and be more like Rick. Ace Rothstein. Broadcast looks and sounds great, fellas. Thanks for the commentary. Quite the start for the Explorers. Returnable from the 10. And LaSalle's special teams, Tyler, I think has been the best this year that I can remember. And certainly the offense, defense, right, that goes a long way and leading to just a one-loss record in the state semifinal. But the special teams has taken a huge step up. Neil French, new special teams coordinator, has done a great job.
Yeah, that was a great play by Trey Hopkins there. He's been having a heck of a game as well.
And we can't go through our Where You At segment without giving a shout out to Carly Wade. Always first to check in and say, let's go LaSalle. First down and 10 for North Penn. Riley Gray. And LaSalle had it strung out pretty well, but missed an early tackle. Gain of 2, maybe 3. Those hats are getting into space, though, Tyler, for the LaSalle defense.
All right. Great job by Fandozzi. Kind of turned up the field. Wasn't able to bring him down, but just enough to make it a short gain.
Second down. 7 yards to go.
I'm sure it's second down this time.
Yes, no doubt about it. It didn't much matter, did it? Because as soon as we got done saying that, I think Mahoney may have already been in the end zone with how fast he was running down the field. Gray, good moves. Gets to the second level, first down, and a lot more. The ball came out, but well after he was taken down. And I know it is 28-0, but North Penn is a run-first team, Tyler. They combined for their running backs at 40 to 45 touches a game when things are going well. I think they need to get downhill. Maybe you move with a little bit of urgency here. But dance with the date that you brought.
Yeah, and Gray kind of pulled the Houdini there. I have no idea how he came out of that pile, but incredible run. Much needed.
They'll run that zone read, and another job putting the foot in the ground. That time, Matt Panal. Gain of 6.
Again, some nice blocking up front there, but Panal, there's not much of a hole there. I don't know how these guys are getting through. Just good patience, letting the blocks develop.
You know, that replay show, that might have been counter. They might have pulled 2 guys from the other side of the line. It looked like Silvers was one of them at the tight end position, and then the right tackle came across. So good concept that time from Dick Beck.
Yeah, it's shown a lot of dynamic looks on these runs.
Pistol look this time, and they'll go to the air on play action. He got hit and taken down, just shoved to the ground. Jamel Williams.
Jamel Williams just looking down, shaking his head no. Like, that's the celebration. Just, he's having a heck of a game. There's so many people just jumping out on this field today, and Jamel Williams has got to be one of them.
Well, you remember, Tyler, last year they played a lot of odd man front, did LaSalle, and so kind of that bull rush, take on 2 different offensive linemen, that was the job for Jamel Williams, and so his statistical kind of results were understated significantly because he was tying up 2 guys and allowing linebackers to make the tackle. Now back to a more traditional even front, well, it's popping off the page what he's been able to do, and more of those stats and plaudits are being sent his way, and rightly so. Timeout on the field. Chance for us to tell you about E&M Insurance, longtime sponsor of what we're doing here. They are a property and casualty insurance firm located in North Wales, thanks to Chris Marr, class of 1989. 1989, beg your pardon, Chris, I would never. He sent 2 sons to LaSalle. They're located in North Wales. They're an independent agent, meaning that they work with a select group of highly rated insurance providers that have shown their performance over the years. And I think a lot of folks watching right now, maybe they have sons or daughters that are about to become drivers. I know that's when the premiums go way up, and Chris can certainly help you with that, as well as bundling home and auto and everything else for your home, auto, business, etc. So we appreciate their sponsorship. Visit them at eandminsurance.com. Buxer caught. First down. Big conversion on 3rd down and 11. They got 14 and moved the sticks. Matt Penal, second leading receiver on the season for North Penn, able to come up with it.
Yeah, Bucks are having really nice protection this time. Clearly able to show the ability in his arm. He just needs that time. I think you're hard-pressed to get that on a day like today, though.
Dick Beck, longtime head coach here at North Penn, 23 years, from Doylestown, played at CB West for Mike Pettin Sr., came to North Penn with Mike Pettin Jr. as one of his assistants, and then when Mike left, Dick became the head coach. Mike Pettin went on to coach the Cleveland Browns as the head coach, and now he's the associate head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. Anybody that knows anything about football in southeastern Pennsylvania knows that Pettin name, and Dick Beck, one of the best from that coaching tree. They won their 8th district title last week against Penridge. Another nice find. That's a feathery ball. Kind of layering that in between the linebacker, Tyler Cooper Halig, and then the defensive back, Trey Hopkins. It's a heck of a ball from Buxer.
Yeah, again, great pass great protection there by that offensive line, and just like you said, feathering it in there.
So now a first down, exactly what the doctor ordered for North Penn. Again, it's a long way home coming back here, but a way to really put yourself out of it is for a team to go up 35 points. That's easy to say, Tyler, just the number of points, but the real concept there is how many possessions do you realistically have left when a game goes to a running clock? Even if you were to cut it back inside 35, once it starts, and it can only start to begin the second half at the earliest, it does not stop, even if the game gets close. And so important for North Penn to get points here for, besides the very obvious reason.
There was a penalty there to make it the oh-so-common 1st and 3. I kind of missed it, but how do you get to 1st and 3?
I'll have to go back in the annals on this one. Rewatch the replay. Under center and 2 in the backfield, and we have whistles everywhere. It may have been a delay of game, and that's exactly what it was. Delay of game against North Penn. Well, more commonly 1st and 8 now, Tyler.
Yeah, clock's ticking. Feels like this game's going pretty quick. Kind of to be expected, I think, obviously with this Knights heavy run game.
They fake the give, pressure off the edge, taking a shot, coming back to the football, and it's pretty good coverage there by Trey Hopkins. A flag comes in late. I don't know. It felt like it was going to be, and then I thought he actually did a decent job getting his head turned around and really didn't run through the receiver, Tyler. I also thought the receiver could have done more to goad the call.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it there. Obviously, it looks bad right there at first, and then
there's nothing there. There is nothing there.
You can see the ref holsters the flag. He grabs the flag, then takes his hand off of it, thinks about it for a good 5 seconds, and then chucks it. I
mean, free access with both hands to the football. Doesn't get run off the spot by Hopkins. I just don't like that call. We don't have the same angle that official did.
Yeah, haven't been calling it like that all game.
The 2 tight ends came in motion, and they'll go right up the middle. First down, a gain of 3. It'll make it 2nd and about 7.
Playbook is wide open for the Knights. Obviously, they are not in any rush. As you mentioned, they are sticking to that run game.
Remember, North Penn does get the football to start the second half, and just a little bit of movement somewhere on that line.
Look like on the Knights, but we'll see.
Oh, for sure. That's being a
Somewhere
little
on the
facetious.
right side. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, it's on that shift that the Explorers do.
And it was Jack Silvers, who generally plays on the defensive side of the football. He has struggled a couple of times there. Hey, a real quick shout out, by the way, to our folks at Roosters in Glenside. I know there's some folks going to Roosters after the contest today. I know they host a big watch party for some of these games. We appreciate Chris McGarity and the whole crew at Roosters, hopefully watching us on Rooster Vision right now, the 200-inch television. And that looked good on the big TV. J.P. Oates in there on the sack.
Yeah, there he is. He's been a little quiet this game, had some nice catches, but J.P. Oates, just that closing speed. He's so fast for how big he is.
I'm telling you, there's not a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys that are going to go high-end Division I football or high-end Group of 5 football where you can say, hey, that's an NFL body. I'm just saying, J.P. Oates, awesome tight end at 6'3". It's more NFL-type measurables when he plays outside linebacker. And I'm excited to see him do it at the next level. Third down, and a long way to go, and they'll just throw it into the ground. No time that time for Buxer. Guess who in the backfield? J.P. Oates.
Yeah, Oates last second shifts over to the left side from the right side, and just a miscommunication in blocking there. Kind of supposed to let him go through. It is a screen pass, but
how about a chip? Yeah, I
little.
think that might have been helpful there because you just don't see many guys like J.P. Oates that can make that distance up in no time.
Fourth and forever.
The line to gain is all the way at the 9. 4th and 21. And Buxer eluded one, not the second. Give Ryan Fandozzi the sack after great pressure in the backfield by Kyrie Mitchell, as well as Jamel Williams. Turnover on downs, and LaSalle will take it the other way. This portion of today's game brought to you by Bala Dermatology, our friend Dr. Mary Griffin. Any type of cosmetic skin work, as well as options to reduce sun damage, give you skin checks, and help you love your skin again. Call her at 610-664-3300 or visit baladermatology.com. 4:03 to play, second quarter. LaSalle is about 63 yards and an extra point from, as we were told earlier today, from his aunt, Mr. Reliable, putting one more extra point through, away from a running clock situation entering the second half. What a beautiful day for football. Not a cloud in the sky. 43 and sunny. And that's incomplete. Great coverage by Riley Gray. A run-pass option that time. It's Gavin Sidwar's job to read. As he fakes that ball to Des Ortiz. He thought he liked the matchup. It's a heck of a play by Gray.
Yeah.
Really good coverage.
Gray has been kind of showing his chops the last couple drives. Just some really good coverage out there.
Going to be a highly touted FCS type recruit at some point here, Tyler. Just a junior. Best cover corner that they have. And talking to Dick Beck, he was really excited about the opportunity. You just don't go against the Joey O'Brien every day. Third down. Sidwar underneath. Owen Johnson has the first down, and he's chopped down at the 48-yard line. Nice job there defensively by North Penn Zion Smith. But they have enough to move the sticks.
Zion Smith just kind of exploding through with this tackle here. Just a real textbook open field tackle on one of the quickest guys in the league.
Back to the line quickly, and now they'll turn to the sideline. They have all day here. 3 minutes with 2 timeouts in this offense. Time should not be an issue. Sidwar towards the sideline and just couldn't quite go up the ladder there. A little high intended for Jimmy Mahoney.
Yeah, I think Mahoney, if that gets out a little quicker, a little lower, Sidwar tapped his chest, that's on me. He had a lot of grass in front of him, I think. I think he could have at least got the first down there, if not a lot more, with that speed.
Couple more folks checking in, by the way. How about our buddy Jeff Meyer? Jeff Meyer, can't believe you're not here. Redondo Beach, California, though. He's got LaSalle on the big screen. Checking in and telling Bill Wasilenko to enjoy the rest of the day. Class of 69 always represented. And by the way, he told us a story pregame, which we'll share after this snap. Des Ortiz taken down. What a play defensively. And it's going to be 3rd down and long. Heck of a job getting into the backfield.
Yeah, haven't seen much penetration like that from this Knights defense, but that comes at a much-needed time.
Nate Shapian. Line to gain is the 41, but Jeff Meyer was wearing a LaSalle shirt, and a man in his 30s comes up to him and says, hey, out in Redondo Beach, California, no less, hey, you going to the LaSalle game, or you're a LaSalle guy, class of 69? Underneath, Owen Johnson can't make one miss, and likely going for it here on 4th down. Turned out to be state champion baseball player Tyler Kozanowski. And I know Tyler well, and I know you knew Tyler as well during your time at LaSalle, your classmate. They won the 2012 state championship in baseball. My younger brother Kevin Long pitched on that team. I know some of those guys well. And quite frankly, I didn't know what happened to Tyler, and I don't know if some of Tyler's teammates knew what happened to Tyler. So there he is, alive and well, repping LaSalle in Redondo Beach, California. 4th down and 4. Line to gain is the 41. They bring the heat to North Penn. One-on-one ball for O'Brien, brings it down and got the toes in there.
I think
the one official has it as a catch and not being overridden by the other. Go ahead, Tyler.
No, I was going to say, I think they're going to have it on DPI on O'Brien there, just kind of holding that arm.
And that's good in the pros as well, where I think a lot of people think he might be playing in about 3 to 4 years. Whether it's at this position or not is another question. An all-world safety recruit. But he said, hey, I want to play some wide receiver at the next level if it works out. What a play.
I mean, I feel like usually that's like a 10-20% catch, but as soon as you see that going to Joey O'Brien, you almost feel like it's 100% catch rate there for him.
And the play clock, everyone was asking for a new play clock, and now I think they're going to get it.
Brett Gordon pleading his case. Arms outstretched to his side, as we saw quite a bit last week.
I mean, I'll say this. The chains weren't even set.
Yeah.
When that ran down to 0. O'Brien handed that to the official. They had a conversation. They marked a flag, by the way, right? They assessed the flag and then turned to the scorer's table here, the scorer's booth, to issue that call. Shouldn't that play clock start after all of that is done? And I think that's the argument that Brett Gordon has. Instead, LaSalle's going to have to use a timeout. Again, a 28-0 game, but it does feel like something was missed there.
Well, it's funny seeing Brett Gordon in like a huddle with a couple of the reps. It's not something you see every day. Usually, you see them yelling at them or pleading their case from the sideline. Not.
How about a quick shout out to our folks at the Great American Pub, Phoenixville Wayne, and our personal favorite Conshohocken, Chuck Hempshire, and the whole Hempshire family. Big supporters of what we do. I know Charlie, who was a great football player as well, back involved with the business. Give him a follow, certainly on all the socials, but tell him that Bob Longsport sent you, and go over and have yourself a good meal. At the Great American Pub, we appreciate their support. Sidwar steps up over the middle, and it was dropped. Maybe just a hair low and behind, but that's one that Owen Johnson needs to find his way to catch, and he knows that one. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Sidwar, again, a nice protection in that pocket. And, yeah, like you said, just a little low, but Owen Johnson just kind of clasping his hands a little too early as that ball hits off his fingertips.
1 minute, 21 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
As you mentioned, if the Explorers do put up 7 here before the half, it'll be a running clock to start the second half.
Ortiz, not much doing there on second down. 3rd down and 8. Ball at the 21. It would be a 38-yard field goal here for Chris Heck. That is well inside his range. I just don't know if they would go that route, Tyler. They may treat this as 4-down territory here. Still the 1 timeout remaining as we tick under 55 seconds to play.
Gmail Geist checked into the game. Haven't seen much of him today.
Mahoney is the man in motion. And they'll throw the screen. O'Brien. It's a good block down the field by Grayson McHugh. Maybe one too many blocks. A flag comes in. Let's take a look. Where was that ball caught? Maybe is the other question. And it is a hold. I was wondering if it might be an eligible
I thought
man
that's what it
downfield.
was. He was a couple yards down there, and I thought it was caught beyond the line of scrimmage.
But they'll back him up for the hold.
That's a great block by his soon-to-be teammate, right?
That's
Notre
right.
Dame, soon-to-be current, future teammate.
Yes,
whatever you
current
wanna say.
teammate, retaining the teammate bond, remaining teammates at the next level.
Retaining
yes,
the gold
indeed.
helmets.
Yes, that's right. A lot of similarities to those programs, without a doubt. Stay with us. We'll be right back. They teach the next play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January. So 3rd down and 11. A quick shout out to Phil Goodwin checking in from Ocean City, New Jersey. Says go LaSalle. Class of 96. Third down. The line to gain is at about the 13-yard line. 5 wide for Gavin Sidwar, the conductor. He's going to let one fly towards the pylon. It's caught inside the pylon. Feeder down. Touchdown, Jimmy Mahoney. His 2nd of the day.
Yeah, Sidwar here feeling the pressure. Looks like he throws this off his back foot. He is retreating, but he puts it up there. And Mahoney.
A young man who's really getting his first true varsity action this year. Had an interception return for a touchdown in running clock situation last year, late in the year, and just weren't sure what his role was going to be as a senior. I don't think many people did. But how about the internal fortitude and to fight through an injury over the course of the year as well and come back and score 2 touchdowns in a state semifinal. What a story for Jimmy Mahoney. And it is 35-0. North Penn has 30 seconds to score. Otherwise, we will start the second half with a running clock. Some more folks checking in. Octavius Carter, one of our favorites. He's always good about watching. He was a heck of a player, too, Tyler, while he was here. He says, LaSalle handling business. John McFadden, class of 88, goes by Johnny Mack at LaSalle, watching from home in Doylestown. Way to go, LaSalle. Chuck Berneski, Chris, his godfather, checking in from a deer blind outside Laceyville, Pennsylvania. Again, there are these towns, and a lot of them are where people hunt in. I just don't know, Tyler. So, hello, Laceyville.
I'm not too familiar with Laceyville myself.
Mike McGuire from 91, class of 91, watching and checking in from Florence, New Jersey, with Bill McGuire from the class of 62, watching from Sarasota. And our buddy Steve Dolan from WizWit Sports, said, I've been loving the broadcast. Returnable from the 9. Hopkins got first contact and then deposited at the 25-yard line. And what do you do here, Tyler? Kind of an impossible question.
Yeah, I don't think you change anything up if you're the Knights. I think you hand the ball off. I don't know.
Yeah, this is not an offense built to go 75 yards down the field in 25 seconds. LaSalle will likely play two safeties deep. I formation with extra blockers on both sides of the line. And we will head to half. LaSalle with a 35-0 lead over North Penn. And all eyes start to turn. Still 24 minutes of football to play in a running clock situation, but start to turn towards Cumberland Valley and who LaSalle would play in a state final next Saturday night at 7 o'clock p.m. That game will be handled between Pittsburgh Central Catholic and Harrisburg, both of whom LaSalle has played in the last about 15, 16 months. That's a game at Mansion Park in Altoona. Tyler, a takeaway from this first half.
No, I mean, LaSalle honestly played some pretty sloppy football to start at one point, and they were up 21-0. So just goes to show the talent that they have on their side of the field, and just as Octavius Carter said, taking care of business.
We'll take a break. We'll come back in just a few minutes for a halftime show. Stay with us. You are watching the 6A PIAA state semifinal here on the eastern side of the state.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. Refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We are a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
We're here to show you a better way to spend your state income taxes and get the money to where it's needed the most to the thousands of qualified kids.
What we like about Blocks is they really know where the need is.
This program ensures that their dollars come 100% into these kids for their tuition assistance.
If you are able, Blocks makes the EITC piece go very quickly and very smoothly.
Turn your PA state tax liability into need-based scholarships and receive a 90% tax credit.
Dunphy Ford is Mayfair's neighborhood Ford store.
Nobody knows your neighborhood like Dunphy Ford.
Nearly 40 years.
Right here on Frankfurt Avenue.
Generation after generation. Our neighbors continue to be our customers. We have access to the cars and trucks you want with financing you need.
Dunphy Ford is Northeast Philly's first choice for America's #1 brand. 7700 Frankfurt Avenue in Mayfair. Online at www.dunphyford.com.
Come experience the Dunphy difference. You'll be glad you did.
My name is Patrick Donahue, a franchise consultant with FranChoice, the premier network of franchise consultants in America. FranChoice is a company that helps people find a franchise business that's the perfect fit for them. We work with the people who want to own a business but don't really know how to find one that's both a top-notch opportunity and a great match. We specialize in franchise opportunities with the following 3 characteristics: low investment, high margin, and rapid break-evens. The best thing about our service is that it's free to the public. We're paid by franchise companies for this service. The process is simple. First, we do an introduction. Then the candidate provides me with information. We have a consultation based on that information, and we build what's called the model. Once we have that model, we'll share that with 3 great opportunities that match your criteria. I will follow up with you through the entire process. Obviously, the best opportunities fit the criteria mentioned above, and the right way to find those opportunities is to spend some time with the people who work with the very best franchise companies looking to expand in your local area. I'm humbled by your consideration, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Meet David and Kay May, a dynamic team with a shared mission to help you turn your real estate dreams into reality. What sets them apart? Their wealth of experience, combined with a genuine passion for guiding clients every step of the way. They believe everyone deserves personalized attention, fair treatment, and excellent expert advice throughout the process, ensuring your journey is smooth and successful. David and Kay go above and beyond to meet your needs, ensuring expectations are not just met, but exceeded. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned investor, their personalized approach and commitment to service make every real estate journey smooth and rewarding. Contact them today to get started on your next real estate adventure.
They said it couldn't be done, but somehow CCM was able to close this home in just 21 days. Carl, how'd you pull this off?
Oh, hard work, dedication, grinding.
Were you ever worried?
Well, you know, Chloe, they pinned us in deep in the second bedroom, inspection issues, but we regrouped. Knew there was still a lot in play.
Well, I'm sure the Franklins were pleasantly surprised.
We got a good organization here. A lot to look forward to.
Good luck with the next close. And there you have it. Cross Country Mortgage is dedicated to getting it done.
So, it's time for your business to renew your lease. Or perhaps you're right-sizing or relocating. This can be an exciting time, but it's also a major project to undertake. Hundreds of decisions to make, some of which may impact your business for the next decade. You know you need an expert on your side from start to finish. What if this expert had no conflicts of interest, no landlords to answer to, and a fiduciary responsibility to work solely in your best interest? Someone who knows the questions to ask, the levers to pull, the pitfalls to avoid. Enter the experts at Gola Corporate Real Estate. They've seen it all over the course of thousands of transactions in dozens of industries. Gola gets it. And what if those experts came with a team? Subject matter experts to manage everything that comes with this process. Space planning and design, relocation planning and budgeting, helping you manage your vendors, construction oversight, all with zero out-of-pocket cost to you. A turnkey experience that adds real value, value that flows right to your bottom line. Gola gets it. We've been partnering with clients like you for over 40 years, and we know what's important: solving problems, creating flexibility, protecting and stretching your dollars. Philadelphia-based with a national presence. Get to know Gola. Gola gets it.
When your car needs repairs and you can't wait, Meineke can help. With life's crazy schedule between work and family, you'll love Meineke's same-day service. Call today and Meineke will get your car in today. For new brakes, exhaust repairs, or your check engine light comes on, trust Meineke to do the job right. And families have been coming to Meineke for years because Meineke works on any make or model vehicle. Same-day service, value, and trust. Meineke, doing car care right.
Be a part of the biggest live events. The must-see matches.
He's gone!
The game day celebrations. Experience live sports and entertainment the way they're meant to be seen. With Joe Hand Promotions, the global leader of live entertainment for bars, restaurants, and cinemas. Create unforgettable moments that fans won't want to miss. Keep the food and drinks flowing with watch parties that will bring customers in the door and expand dwell time. And watch as these visitors turn into loyal customers with exclusive content relationships with the nation's largest sports and entertainment providers. In over 10,000 bars, restaurants, and cinemas across America, and customizable packages for every type of venue. Make your business the place for the next must-see event. Because if fans can't make it to the stadium or arena, your venue is the next best place.
The all-new Infiniti QX80 has redefined what a luxury SUV should be. A V6 twin turbocharged engine, available 64-color personalized ambient lighting and 24-speaker sound system, biometric cooling, Pro Pilot Assist, and and so much more. Experience the Infiniti QX80 today at Faulkner Infiniti of Willow Grove and redefine your luxury expectations. To be sure.
Next Play Basketball is the largest AAU program in the greater Philadelphia area. Next Play also offers camps, clinics, and private training for boys and girls, 3rd to 12th graders. They teach the Next Play mentality to help athletes have success on and off the court. Next Play coaches focus on each player's development through high-level coaching and a competitive environment. If you would like to join the Next Play family, go to nextplaybasketball.com for more information. They will be hosting spring tryouts starting in January.
LaSalle is a place I can call my second home. LaSalle is a place where you can become the best version of yourself.
LaSalle is a place where creativity is encouraged.
LaSalle is a place where people grow.
LaSalle is a place where your passion will thrive.
LaSalle is a place with a lot of opportunities for you to become a leader.
LaSalle is a place where students can find excellence in themselves.
LaSalle is a place where you belong.
Choose your path means that you can explore who you are here.
LaSalle has a wide variety of opportunities for you to get involved in.
LaSalle has opened me up academically, spiritually, and athletically.
LaSalle definitely encourages a great deal of effort in everything that you do. We have a ton of resources to proliferate excellence.
The academics in the community, as well as the clubs and sports teams, have been monumental in the building of my character.
LaSalle teaches me time management, which makes it possible for me to be involved in so many academics and athletics here.
You're able to foster whatever your passion is, and there's always people there supporting you.
The guys in those groups, they become more like your friends, more a brother to you. LaSalle is a community that shows up for its members.
LaSalle is a community that inspires the lives of young men.
LaSalle allows you to be who you are and motivate you along your journey.
It helps you to meet people not only from different races, but people of different personality types.
We all help each other grow, which is why I've seen so much growth in both me and my peers.
Rebound, Hannon, score! The Flyers come!
Today, we leave LaSalle as alumni for the first time. We are now tasked with continuing the legacy of LaSalle. I cannot wait to see how the influence of our class shapes the world around us.
Big Ten Plus, you get more game, non-stop, around the clock. More live games you won't see anywhere else. More access to your team, wherever you want, 24/7. More stories.
Unstoppable.
More highlights. More big-time playmakers. Plus, catch up to 4 games at once, so you'll never miss more shots, spikes, and scores. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
Hometown ticketing makes it fast and easy to buy tickets on your school's website or in the new Hometown Fan app. It's simple. Just search for your school, buy your tickets, and they'll be right there in your account, ready to be scanned when you get to your event. Download the Hometown Fan app today.
From coast to coast and every state between, X marks the spot as Max Preps is your source for everything high school sports. From schedules, roster, stats, live scores, video highlights, photos, playoff brackets, to award programs that recognize the hard-working athletes across the country. Max Preps gives you access to every team, every game, and every player. Get in the know today by downloading the Max Preps app, available in both the iTunes and Google Play Store. Or visit maxpreps.com, America's source for high school sports.
It's your weekly trip. It's our everyday low price. It's one of 37 things on your list, and one of 10,000 items we've marked down. It's feeding them balanced meals and helping you balance your budget. At Wise Markets, we know you keep a close eye on every price. And so do we. Our low price promise helps you save throughout the store without waiting for a sale. So that you can eat better, we help you spend less. That's Wise.
Hi, we're WVU. You probably know us for screaming. And yeah, we're pretty good at it. But here, it's more than a chant. It's our celebration of innovation.
Let's go.
Our rallying cry for community. Let's go! And honestly, it's just our way of life. So whether you're chasing big dreams or just chasing sunsets,
let's go!
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Big Ten Plus. Get 3 months of Big Ten Plus for only $4.99 per month. Scan the QR code or go to big10plus.com and enter NFHS when selecting a monthly pass at checkout.
Welcome back, folks. Second half about to get underway here from CB South High School. Bring you back inside the broadcast booth here, Bob Long. And we'll actually throw you back to the field here, having a little bit of problems with our booth cam. But some thoughts from that first half. LaSalle was a little sloppy, quite frankly, early on, and I think to a man they would tell you that. Put the ball on the ground twice, had another ball nearly intercepted on a batted down ball in the first play of the game. But LaSalle able to take advantage of some good field position at times in that early portion of the contest. Some great plays. Jimmy Mahoney with 2 touchdowns. Gavin Sidwar putting on one heck of a game. And they're finding themselves up 35-0, well on their way towards a state title berth for the first time since 2010. That was a game that LaSalle lost back in 2010 to North Allegheny High School. The year prior, they had defeated State College in a blizzard. What a game that was. And for folks that remember that game and some of the circumstances therein, the game was moved up from 7 o'clock at night to 2 o'clock to try to get people in and out. It didn't really matter. The blizzard was from morning to night and into the next day. There really wasn't much that could be done there to improve the situation. And what a game that was. Drew Lockery, starting quarterback for LaSalle. Sam Felicia had a long touchdown run. Jamal Abdur-Rahman, Tim Wade from the backfield. It was a special group and coached by Drew Gordon, Brett Gordon's father. If LaSalle were to win here today and then next week to capture a state championship, Brett Gordon and Drew Gordon would be the first father-son combination in the history of PIAA football to both win a state title. Bob Long here on the broadcast. So thrilled that you're all with us. And for those of you that have been following what we've done all year, thank you for being part of it. What a run it's been if you are a LaSalle Explorer fan. And for North Penn, what a run it has been. 8 district titles in Dick Beck's 23 years as a head coach. Won a state championship in 2003. That was his second year at the helm. And then a state runner-up in 2011. That was a year where North Penn beat LaSalle in this very game. Start to think about out west and what's going on there. North Penn and LaSalle here will decide the eastern side of the state in the next 2 hours or less. And then tonight, Harrisburg and Pittsburgh Central Catholic will play against one another from Mansion Park. It's a great facility in Altoona. I want to welcome our Harrisburg and our Pittsburgh Central Catholic and our high school fans at large who are just here to watch some good football here today. And if LaSalle can finish this off, it will go to a running clock situation immediately here. LaSalle will be awaiting the winner of that game. Other action across the state. Last night, some classics. Twin Valley took down Aliquippa in a 28-24 game. Now the Quips, Tyler, as you know, have won many state championships over the years. Mike Warfield does a great job. They've played up multiple times. They're really a single or double A classification school in terms of enrollment. They're playing at the 4A level. Twin Valley instead goes out to Central Pennsylvania and wins that game. Good for them. Right now, Roman Catholic in the third quarter leads Springfield Delco 35-7. So Roman Catholic may head to the finals. We may have some broadcast information about Roman Catholic for next Friday, so stay tuned to all our socials, my personal social, Bob Long Sports, on Twitter for that. North Penn, not much doing on that opening kick return, and the ball came out. They're whistling it dead, I believe. We certainly have the advantage of replay that the officials do not. And it's really hard to see from that angle when the football came out, Tyler.
Yeah, this replay is not showing much. Joey O'Brien's kind of pointing at it. Not that you can trust him, but prior to him being down almost. But referee right there, go with their call.
Matt Buxer, 3-year starter at quarterback, turns around and hands it off. It's a gain of 4 on first down.
Explorers still have all of their starters out there, it looks like. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of the second-string guys get some rare playoff reps later in the fourth quarter, most likely.
Spoiler alert, by the way, if folks are not looking for scores of other games, I should have talked about that before the Roman Catholic game, but we're going to give a score here of Bishop McDevitt against Peters Township. That's the other 5A game, Tyler. And at halftime, Bishop McDevitt 21, Peters Township 10. You know what that means, Tyler.
Rematch.
A rematch of Bishop McDevitt and Roman Catholic in the state final if those results were to hold. That would be a Friday night kick. And again, we may have some programming update on that one over the course of the week, so stay tuned to our socials.
That was a great game last year.
Overtime. Heartbreaking if you're a Roman Catholic fan. So a flag came in after the play. They're going to wave this one forward. It goes against the LaSalle Explorers. We saw this in last week's game as well when LaSalle and Easton went to a running clock. The third quarter took forever because even though there was a running clock, the clock certainly stops during penalties and things of that nature. There were a lot of them. Now we tick under 11 minutes to play here.
30-yard penalty?
The give and a gain of 2. Bob Long, Tyler Kern, your broadcast crew here today. For those of you that follow what we do on a week-to-week basis, thank you for doing that. And we're excited to get back to if it is LaSalle football this coming Saturday night. We'll be out there in a slightly different capacity. It'll be audio only at the state final per PIAA regulations, but we'll be back to normal there. Gain of 6 on 2nd down and 9, and it sets up 3rd down and 3.
I want to know what that penalty was because I believe the Knights were down around their 21-yard line, got moved all the way up to the 46.
Yeah, that is a lot from a penalty yardage standpoint. Matthew Penal on that 2nd down carry sets up 3rd down and 3. 4-down territory for the Knights of North Penn, dressed in the white with those Carolina blue helmets. LaSalle in the gold helmets with the blue, the navy blue tops and bottoms. It'll be 4th down as LaSalle stands them up. 3 guys in the area. Williams Halig, JP Oates on that side as well, and Mitchell.
Yeah, Kyrie Mitchell initiated that tackle there, kind of slowed him down just a bit to make it a very short gain, if at all.
Fourth down. Call it 2.5. And North Penn will get nice and tight. Timeout. Timeout called by Dick Beck on the field. And a chance for us to tell you about our friends at E&M Insurance in North Wales. Property and casualty insurance firm for your personal or business. Run by Chris Marr, class of 1989 and father of 2 sons that he sent through LaSalle. He's a proud business owner, and he's a former Alumni Association president. He can help you and your family from a home and auto bundle. Maybe you have a child that is about to get his or her license. Good luck. Everybody, please be safe. But we know that those premiums go way up. So give them a call at 215-368-9555 for more information. That's E&M Insurance in North Wales. Fourth down. Silvers in motion at the halfback position. They'll hand it off, and he won't get there. May have gotten back to the line. That's it. Ball came out well after the whistle on LaSalle. Turns over North Penn on downs.
Yeah, just a great defensive stop there after huge penalty yardage, I think totaling close to 25 yards.
One more look at Kyrie Mitchell. We talked about him on the last play. This is taking on a blocker, pushing him into the backfield, and then grabbing the tailback with just one arm and shoving him back. That is a sophomore, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, really excited to see more of Kyrie Mitchell and how he develops over these next couple of years.
And Luke Gordon, sophomore quarterback, is into the contest. Ozzie Nelson pulled down by that long sleeve. He might go sleeveless next game. Yeah, he just actually kind of rolled those sleeves up, didn't he? Look at that left sleeve right there. It's a long white sleeve. And now we're going to direct your look to Nelson in the backfield as he looks over. Now both of those sleeves are up near the shoulder pads. That's good stuff. 2nd down and 8 after the gain of 2. Gordon takes a shot. That's a great ball. Joey O'Brien. Touchdown. 53 yards from Gordon to O'Brien.
Luke did too much too quick. I was going to say this might be the first time we've seen Luke Gordon with the starters that comes to mind all year. He's got a lot of fancy toys to play with out there, and he gets to hit Joey O'Brien. Really cool to see him out there with the starters.
And one of the cutest things that you'll see, Gio Caparizzo, one of the youngest LaSalle High School fans and son of my buddy Anthony, was being lifted up into the air like you would see after a Penn State touchdown or some of the other big-time college schools that do that, by his proud dad and grandpa. 42-0 LaSalle leads over North Penn.
Yeah, obviously, you want to pull your starters, but I'd love to see Luke Gordon in there one more time with the rest of the starters. That was pretty cool to see him connect with Joey O'Brien, which I don't know if that connection's been made yet.
And won't get many more chances to do it with Joey O'Brien as a senior.
Right.
Well, let's do this for the second time. I can tell you he's got 2 touchdowns because we've done a Joe O'Brien roofing ad after each of them. Joey O'Brien's dad, Joe, runs a great family business, 40 years in the roofing business. Siding, patchwork, gutters, full roof jobs. Give him a call at 215-267-0883. He likes to tell us he's a proud Roman Catholic guy, but boy, has he come around on LaSalle for what his son is doing. Joe O'Brien Roofing, proud sponsor of what we're doing. Well, Heck had that in the tank the whole game. He kept throwing those squib kicks kind of to about the 20. That time, just boots it out of the back of the end zone. This portion of today's game brought to you by Riley Rakowski and Malloy Funeral Home. Andrew Buda Rakowski, an enthusiastic supporter of what we're doing here. He sends his best to Coach Brett Gordon, the student athletes, and the LaSalle football program as a whole. Riley Burkowski and Malloy Funeral Home, a proud sponsor. Well, one more look at some of these records coming into the contest for Joey O'Brien. More and more of those going down as time goes along.
Yeah, like you said, I think he needed, what, 3 touchdowns? Was it to break the city title?
Yes, I think that's correct. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I don't know if we'll see that here today. But we'll have some of those graphics handy for next weekend, Tyler. Rob Stott checks in, by the way. Assistant wrestling coach, former broadcaster with us here, said Kyrie Mitchell is the varsity heavyweight for LaSalle. Knew he was a terrific wrestler. 2nd down and 1. Nice run by Penal into the second level. And out of bounds at the 30. Good run by Penal.
Flag came in late. I didn't see much there.
Did Penal even go down?
No, he just kind of ran out. I didn't see any sort of late contact here. Nothing.
Yeah, not much. Not much, certainly.
And they are assessing that against LaSalle.
But to finish the point on Rob Stott, he's taking a little bit of credit. He and Ben Courtney, which I can appreciate, saying, hey, those mat skills that he picked up, the mat skills picking up last year, that's how he understands how to use that leverage on the D-line. I'm going to have those guys and Joe Leitner fight that out. 1st down and 10. Nice run inside the 10 to about the 5. Neil French will get into that argument as well. I just know Joe sees those guys on a day-to-day basis. 1st down and goal for North Penn, looking to get on the board.
Rob's not the kind of guy to take credit
That's right.
without credit being due.
Not like a push-up competition or anything like that.
I wasn't going to bring that up, Bob. You brought that up.
That's a deep cut only for the longtime fans. 1st and goal from the 5 for North Penn.
I can tell you right now, he would beat me in one.
Riley Gray is the deep back in the I formation. He'll take the give, makes one miss. Good stiff arm inside the 1. 2nd down and goal coming up. That ball is about as close to the goal line as you can place it without the tip of the football. Well, it was. Now it's been put right at the 1-yard line. North Penn's like, where's that spot? Where's that spot that we had before it got back to the hash marks? And now Matthew Penal. They're instead going to give it up the middle to the fullback. Touchdown, North Penn.
A lot of cheering from that side of the field. That was much needed for the Knights.
One more look. And they're on the board. (42-7), good for North Penn. They've had too good a season to go down with the goose egg. And that's a nice drive. Yes, against some of the backups for LaSalle, Tyler, but they stuck to what they do well, and they put 7 on the board.
Yeah, they looked really good out there. As you mentioned, maybe against some of the second-string guys, but stuck to that ground and pound. A few penalties against LaSalle, and they're in for 7.
This portion of today's game brought to you by Dr. Mary Griffin and Bala Dermatology. Give her a call at 610-664-3300 or visit her at baladermatology.com. It's very important to get your skin checked. Even on a sunny 40-degree day, you know, I don't know if this is quite, maybe Dr. Mary Griffin would say, I don't know about sunscreen today. Maybe better safe than sorry, but go check her out and tell her that we sent you here from the broadcast crew. We appreciate our longtime sponsorship. From the 20, running right into his own guy.
Joey O'Brien telling him to take the fair catch. Kind of shrugged his shoulders when he took it out. And
Rob Stott did text back and say, ouch. I assume that's for the push-up contest reference. Although you did say that he could get you this time.
he absolutely could. There's a black track down there. We did it on a blue track last time.
That's
I guess
true.
it's the black and blue track.
Well,
so.
a major shout-out to Rob Stott, Ben Courtney, and the entire LaSalle wrestling program who looks to have another terrific team this year. Tyler, did you ever get into wrestling?
No.
No?
Not my.
You would have been good at it, I think.
Not
You
good.
know?
Not good at the fasting part. I just like eating a
Well,
lot, so
fair.
it's hard. I would never have made weight. Maybe with Rob's help.
Yep. Nice run up the gut. Gets close to that first down marker. Jeray Dial, number 25. We see a lot of him in these situations, but I tell you what, with the departure of Desmond Ortiz and the move of Josh Simmons to the linebacking core, we'll see if that sticks. You feel like Ozzie Nelson and Jeray Dial, that will be one heck of a 1-2 punch for LaSalle next year. Dial thrown back by Jack Silvers. Got that guardian cap. You know exactly where Silvers is on any given play. And that time he found his way into the backfield.
Yeah, nice play by Silvers there. Just not a chance for Dial to get anywhere. Leaving this 3rd and short. Setting up LaSalle for what I would think would be the first punt of the day if they don't convert this.
Luke Gordon out there for his second drive of action as the backup quarterback. And he'll roll. Throws that one out wide, coming back to the football. It is caught. Good catch on that football. Number 87 for LaSalle, Lucas Ferriola, the junior, listed as a defensive back, but he had a big catch late in last week's game against Easton as well.
Yeah, that worked out. Lucas Ferriola doing a great job of kind of bailing Luke Gordon out there, coming back for the ball.
Dial gets past one, and he's got a lot of room. Good blocking down the field, and he makes another miss inside the 40.
Yeah, again, that hard count just showing the blitz coming.
There is a flag. I don't love this call. I think it's going to go against the tight end out there. I don't know, Tyler. I think that's where it came in, though.
Yeah.
Not the tight end, beg your pardon. Number 64 for LaSalle.
I thought that was a pretty good block, actually.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not holding if he turns his back to you and you keep blocking him.
But this will put LaSalle back behind the sticks. It was a downfield block, so there we go. 1st and 16. We've had a lot of those oddball type down and distances here today.
Brett had some last-minute words for his son, Luke. Pretty cool. You don't see a lot of that.
See a little bit of it, though. Drew Gordon was an assistant when Brett played quarterback for LaSalle, and now Brett is the head coach while his son, Luke, plays at LaSalle. And as we talked about, Jordan Reed taken down for a big loss. If Brett Gordon were to win next week and LaSalle were to win a state championship, Brett Gordon and Drew Gordon would be the first father-son combination in the history of PIAA football to have a father-son win a state championship as a head coach. It would be the only 2 titles in the history of LaSalle's program, joining the PIAA back in 2008.
That'd be pretty amazing.
Line again is the 45 on the other side of the field. Jeray Dial bouncing off one would-be tackler and gets to the 40, and that's about it. Maybe only to the 39.
And now, as I was saying, you're likely looking at LaSalle's first punt of the day, I believe, here. Maybe the second one. I believe it's the first.
I don't remember a punt, yes.
And he put up 42 points, or 35 points in the first half. There's not much room for punting.
Dial will go out wide this time. Gordon takes a shot, and there's a lot of contact out there. Intended receiver was Jordan Reed, and Brett Gordon cannot believe it.
That is textbook DPI. He pushed him out of bounds. He's trying to fight back to look at the ball.
Yeah. 42-7, right? That's the caveat at this point. Running clock situation, but I'm not sure you just stop calling the football game. It wouldn't even have been an automatic first down, Tyler. As we know, it's not automatic at the high school level the way it is at the college level, so you can make the right call there and not even award LaSalle a first down. Still third down at that point. Nonetheless.
Hey, I just don't get how you call that on Trey Hopkins earlier, but you don't call that.
I would say that is a tough one to stack up against one another. Yes, indeed. That is the end of the third quarter. We'll take a quick break and come back in just a moment. This is the state semifinal at the 6A level on the eastern side of the state.
At Burns Design Group, our passion for visual and literary design forges powerful, lasting brands, from nonprofits and small businesses to Fortune 500 companies. We create and refresh brands from the ground up and inside out. We transform culture. We drive growth, profitability, and market leadership. We are a group of hands-on veterans who hold more than 150 years of brand strategy and design experience. Burns Design Group. What's next? By design.
Fourth quarter getting underway here from CB South High School. What a crowd this was here today. It is starting to filter out on both sides. As this game has gotten away from North Penn, LaSalle looking to punch their ticket to just their third state final in the program's history. 2009, 2010, and here in 2025, 15 years later.
Pretty cool to see.
Tyler, you're an alum of the program. First team All-Catholic your senior year. On the field, part of the roster, both of those trips to the state final. What does this mean to you, and you being the embodiment of a LaSalle football alumni?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, just being a part of Bob Long Sports and following this team, it feels like it's just come a long way. It's really amazing to see, how far they've come. As an alum, you mentioned, it's, kind of cool to see this kind of bookended almost back in like 2011 when North Penn was able to pull it off 21-14. So it's, as you mentioned, 14 years later, but just really cool to be a part of this and see this, what Brett Gordon's been able to do for this program, and to see how, these young men have developed over the last couple of years.
And to start to set the stage for next weekend, by the way, any way you slice it, it's going to be very, very interesting. Let's start with its Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Well, you talk about bookending things, it would bookend this season. LaSalle started on the road in Pittsburgh at Woodland Hills High School, taking on Pittsburgh Central Catholic in the earliest game and the furthest west that LaSalle has ever been or started a season. August 22nd, they played Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Owen Herrick, the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh Central Catholic, was a first-time starter. It was his first varsity snap. And to go against that LaSalle defense, that was a challenge. He is a different quarterback. Just think about him as a junior at this point, effectively. That is incomplete, intended receiver Riley Gray. And so if it's him that is the starter against LaSalle, and it's Pittsburgh Central Catholic getting to the final, that's a completely different game than they played in August. You could also argue, and you absolutely would be right, that LaSalle is a lot better now than they were in August as well. You have probably the two biggest offensive lines in the state going against one another. And it's a fellow Christian Brothers matchup. So that's the storyline there. Harrisburg, they have the three extremely talented guys. Kevin Brown, who just, committed to West Virginia. Elias Koch has long been committed to Rutgers. And then Messiah Mickens just flipped to Virginia Tech and the Hokies. You'll remember that last August of 2024, LaSalle played at Harrisburg and won that game 45-7. I think the Harrisburg fan would tell you that that game is mired in the controversy of they thought that they'd have Sean Lee as their starting quarterback, and that decision from the PIAA came down about 3 to 4 days from the start of the season. They went with Mikhail Shank, who's now the starting quarterback for Harrisburg. Jayon Lewis will certainly still get reps at the quarterback position, but Shank maybe wasn't quite ready for that moment. They weren't ready to put Lewis in the game. Harrisburg fans will tell you that wasn't their best shot, and if they were looking for another shot at LaSalle this past August, there were controversies or at least discussions about, hey, was this a 2-year agreement? Nothing was signed, to my understanding, between Harrisburg and LaSalle, and it was a change at the head coaching position between that game, between when the game was first scheduled for August of 2024 and when that game was actually played. And so second time around, opportunity came for LaSalle to play Pittsburgh Central Catholic, and that happened. So Tyler, that part of the storyline is Harrisburg's been now waiting 15, 16 months for another shot at LaSalle, and they're at their strongest. LaSalle is at their strongest. That would be the storyline if it's LaSalle versus Harrisburg next weekend.
Yeah, two good storylines, as you mentioned there. Huge fourth down.
Fourth down for North Penn. Over the middle, it's caught. Good throw and catch. Matt Penal spinning to the 31. And good for Buxer. Getting a little bit more of a clean pocket at this point in the contest and showing how he can deliver the ball on time and accurately.
Yeah, approaching 8-minute mark with this running clock in the fourth quarter. Knights looking to add more, getting the double digits here.
An extra lineman on each side. And there's Penal. He's had a nice day. It's been a challenging day overall for North Penn, but he is terrific, both catching the football out of the backfield and running it. A North Penn Knight is a little slow to get up.
Number 29.
Yep, and that is Penal who ran the football there. And that's one, by the way, Penal, who I had to ask about 3 different times. Like, okay, it's not Pownall or Penal. He is a terrific player. A senior, 5'11", 180 pounds. He will play his football at Navy next year. And when I talked to Dick Beck, I said, there have been some Pennsylvania guys that really have had success at Navy. 2 seniors right now, Eli Heidenreich and Alex Texa. 2 players from the Mount Lebanon team that are the last public school team to win a 6A football state title. They beat St. Joe's Prep in 2021. There's the handoff to Riley Gray, who comes in as the backup tailback. And when I mentioned that history, that recent history from Pennsylvania guys going to Navy, he said, well, the Navy coaches, that's exactly the role they want Matt Penal to play next year. He rushed for 175 yards, did Penal on 22 carries in the District 1 final, and Navy wants him to be their next Alex Texa. So we wish Matt the best in his future endeavors and appreciate in advance his service to the country. First down and 10. Line to gain is the 6. It's been a long, methodical drive. Buxer will go to the air. Delivering into space. Franek into the end zone. Touchdown, North Penn. That's a 16-yard throw and catch from Buxer to Franek.
Yeah, nice clean pocket. With Buxer's just showing his ability and his accuracy when he gets that time. And just a nice complete drive from the Knights here. Bring them up in the double digits as they're looking to make it 14.
Kyrie Mitchell, blast onto the field. And that one is good.
Gotta appreciate the big man's hustle.
Oh, yeah.
He wouldn't need that hustle if he was already on the field.
6:51 to play. 42-14. Tyler, you were never late substituting on from the sideline, were you?
No, I'm never late to anything. I'm always, driving really calmly and on time. Yeah.
Broadcasts and things of that nature. Yes. Oh, that's great.
I've cut it close at a few of these games. And St. Joe's Prep regular season comes to mind when I had to walk a mile last time.
Want to give a shout out to our folks at Roosters watching the contest right now. I know some folks are going after the game, so check them out. Thanks to Chris McGarity for supporting what we do here. It's a real staple in Glenside. They only took over the place, last year or so? And we appreciate them reaching out to us and, of course, taking care of the team when they come post-game. Interesting. Joey O'Brien's still out there to receive that kick. And just as interesting that North Penn elected to kick it his direction.
Yeah, it's almost a repeat of what we saw in the first kick of the game. Interested to see what Luke Gordon can put together. Be hard to run the clock all the way out, but they can put a dent in it here.
Gain of about 2 for number 13, Bryce Hanton. So we'll see Dial first a lot of times in these running clock situations, and Bryce Hanton second. LaSalle will again play in a state final on Saturday night, 7 p.m. And there are folks that will see these results, Easton and North Penn, where LaSalle has been in control from the very beginning as he pirouettes his way, does Hanton for a first down, gain of 9, and say, well, is there anybody that can beat this team? I'm telling you, both those teams on the other side of the state, Harrisburg, if you want to call that the other side of the state, certainly the other side of the bracket, and Pittsburgh Central Catholic have the teams to make this a really compelling final in a way that maybe the 6A hasn't allowed for in recent years. Of course, you had St. Joe's Prep, right? But in reality, I think since that Mount Lebanon team in 2021, I think this year's Pittsburgh Central Catholic team and this year's Harrisburg team are the best teams from that western side of the bracket since that 2021 team that beat St. Joe's Prep in the final.
Sounds like I might need to find a Bob Long Sports adjacent stream tonight for that.
Absolutely.
Don't think I'll be making it out there.
NFHS Network is the place to watch that contest tonight. Nowhere to go that time for Jordan Reed. As LaSalle went with the screen, it'll be 3rd down and long. Time to give some shout-outs. Mike Medrick on the camera. He's done a great job here today for us. Yesterday, he was up at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey calling the Washington Township section title game. Doing the camera work there. We appreciate Mike. He's done a great job. First time for us working with him today. 3rd down. And the handoff to Hanton. Needs about 1 block. He cuts it up the field, and Bryce Hanton. He needed 1, and he got 1 block. Hanton will score.
Scanning the field for laundry. I don't see any. That's a touchdown.
Terrific block on that side of the field. And then you need the vision, Tyler, as a good tailback. Put his foot in the ground and got downhill.
Yeah, really nice job by Hanton, the sophomore. Maybe, seeing the 3rd running back there to go along with Azir Nelson and Dial next year.
How about the day for Chris Heck, 7 for 7 on extra point attempts?
Automatic. I rarely have any concerns or doubts when he is kicking the ball. He just feels automatic, especially on those extra points. But when I think about Chris Heck, I do think about that quadruple overtime last year where he just came through over and over and over against St. Joe's Prep.
To this day, probably the most memorable game that I've broadcast, certainly in football.
Yeah, it doesn't get much more competitive than a game like that.
So LaSalle 49, North Penn 14. Appreciate everybody being alongside with us here today, letting us into your living rooms, wherever and however you might be watching us.
Rooster Vision?
Rooster Vision. That's a heck of a lot bigger than the window we're looking through. Returnable from the 9, spinning across to the 29-yard line. Setting up to be 2 phenomenal state finals, Friday night and Saturday night.
How are we looking on the Bishop McDevitt? They still maintaining their lead?
Yeah, so that game is now into the second half, and that is also being played at Altoona's Mansion Park. It is a terrific facility if you haven't been there. My wife grew up there, so we've been there many times and actually have broadcast some of these very state semifinals back in the day. Good run there. Just eating up yardage and refusing to go down. Nicely done. Late third quarter, Peters Township is driving, but that 21-10 score that we quoted you at halftime remains. So a couple of good defensive stops to start this third quarter for both Bishop McDevitt and Peters Township. Peters Township, by the way, they were in the state final just 2 years ago. Lost to a really good Imhotep team who won their second state title under Devin Johnson. That was their last game at the 5A level before Imhotep was moved up to the 6A. And now you have this murderer's row of LaSalle, St. Joe's Prep, and Imhotep, all from District 12. And you only have one of those 3 teams in a state quarterfinal. So those teams are getting axed early. Well, St. Joe's Prep was done on November 1st. But Peters Township, as we were talking about, went to the state final 2 years ago. Now DeLucia, the starting quarterback, is a senior and has done an excellent job. Roman Catholic still leads over Springfield, Delaware County, and will represent the eastern side of the state. So it will be 2 Philadelphia Catholic League teams, one at the 5A level, one at the 6A level. Now, I think those are your 2 games of the weekend right there, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't help but imagine with 6A, PIAA would look like if Malvern Prep wasn't in the Interact League too. That was such a good team that we saw earlier this year in Ocean City.
Isn't that the truth? And the only team all year to beat LaSalle was Roman Catholic. And if Roman Catholic had just held on against St. Joe's Prep in a game that, Tyler, I'm just going to say it, they very, very much should have won, then you're looking at an undefeated team and a team that you might unquestionably say is the best team in the state now. LaSalle won the Catholic League title on a tiebreaker. They've been playing really, really well. I think either of these teams has claim to that title. And then meanwhile, Bishop McDevitt will say, hey, what about us? And Harrisburg will say, what about us? And Pittsburgh Central Catholic would say, give us one more shot at LaSalle to prove that we're the best team in the state. And I think when you get to this large school classification, boy, if you could reshuffle the deck and do a little Final Four of Roman Catholic, LaSalle, Bishop McDevitt, and then the winner of Harrisburg and Central Catholic, that would be something else.
And that's quite the play to end it on.
LaSalle in convincing fashion. They win 49-14. They advance to the PIAA 6A state final for the first time in 15 years. Third time in program history. And a rivalry renewed between LaSalle and North Penn goes the way of the Explorers, and convincingly so. Congratulations to Brett Gordon, head coach of the LaSalle Explorers, as well as the rest of the assistants and these young men. They will have 48 minutes to play for a state title. And that'll take place Saturday, 7 o'clock p.m. at Cumberland Valley's Chapman Field against the winner of Pittsburgh Central Catholic and Harrisburg.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, this LaSalle football program has had some ups and downs since, I joined you, and we've been covering this, but it's been really, really amazing to see what this team has been able to do this year. The obstacles they've been able to overcome, as you mentioned, that loss to Roman Catholic. Some really tough games against Malvern Prep, against St. Joe, 2 hard games against St. Joe's Prep, just, really strong in the face of adversity, which I think just goes to show the conviction that this coaching staff and these players were able to do as the Explorers go to do their alma mater as they do at the beginning and end of each game, win or lose.
And this year it's been a lot more winning than losing.
Heck of a lot more winning.
Again, thanks to Mike Medrick, who's got a great shot here.
He's even leaning over the railing a little bit.
Oh boy,
for us.
be careful up there, Mike. And the best pep band in the land. We might have seen the best marching band in Pennsylvania last week in Easton. The best pep band is LaSalle. And we will turn it to the pep band now. It's been a season of building if you're a LaSalle High School fan, from Pittsburgh in the heat of summer in August, taking on Pittsburgh Central Catholic, through a late game dramatics against Malvern Prep the very next week. And then LaSalle started to turn it on, beating Salesianum, beating Calvert Hall. A little setback against Roman Catholic. They learned something at that point. Came back and beat St. Joe's Prep. And then just rolled through the rest of Philadelphia Catholic League play and found a way to continue to win, to continue to strive. Beating Imhotep Charter in a game that they led 24-0 at half. It ended up being a one-possession game at one point. And then a blowout of Easton, a blowout of North Penn, and they are 48 minutes from a state championship. Those 2009 guys, and I know they don't think about it this way, Tyler, but they might have a week, if all goes well for LaSalle next week, of being the best team in the history of LaSalle football. And if this team could win it, at minimum, they would be on that Mount Rushmore with that team. I think to a man, some of those guys would say, hey, this team has some tools that maybe that one did not. But a state champ is a state champ, and LaSalle looking to win their second title in a 16-year span.
Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to find anyone on that team that would have an issue with this team joining them on that Mount Rushmore, as you mentioned. It's been really incredible to see this talent. Maybe that 2009 team a little grittier. But, what this team and this coaching staff has been able to do is nothing short of incredible. I just have one question for you, Bob. Is there any snow in the forecast for next Saturday?
I don't think so.
They're
calling back the 2009 game, a blizzard.
I'm just going to say LaSalle is 1-0 in state championships when it snowed and 0-1 when it didn't snow.
Okay, there you go. Noted. Noted. Although that 2010 game was very, very cold.
It was a cold night.
And it will be cold next weekend as well. A quick note about North Penn. North Penn, a terrific year under Dick Beck, a team that got really, really good after the first 6 games, Tyler, and they found a way to get to this point, avenging a 24-point loss to Penridge in the regular season. Beat that same Penridge team by 1 possession here this past weekend, and earned their District 1 title, their 8th under Dick Beck. A proud program. No doubt they will be back, but they'll have to replace some players as well. I think they acquitted themselves admirably after a tough start and put 14 points on the board to maintain that respectability, and they did not quit, Tyler.
Yeah, like we mentioned in the pregame and throughout the game, Dick Beck's, what he's been able to do with that program and for how long he's been able to sustain that is nothing short of incredible. So I know the scoreboard probably doesn't align with what those Knights players and fans and families might have hoped, but those young men should hold their head high for how their season ended.
That's about it for us. He's Tyler Kern. I am Bob Long. Thanks so much for being with us today, wherever and however you might have been accessing our telecast. Stay tuned to our socials at Bob Long Sports. We're going to have a lot of information about what's coming your way over the next week. Yes, a Saturday tilt out in Cumberland Valley. Certainly we will be able to do that game. It will be an audio-only broadcast. That is a PIAA regulation, but we will see this one through. And stay tuned as well for some information on Friday night's telecast between Roman Catholic and very likely Bishop McDevitt. We'll see how this one finishes up there in Mansion Park. So we might have the 5A and the 6A final coming your way next weekend. We're going to say so long here from CB South, where LaSalle beats North Penn 49-14, en route to a state final berth for the third time in program history.